What's up everyone, Blackout coming at you with the top 5 overlooked champions. These are champions that should be played more often and appear in less than 3% of all games. Now they're in no particular order, just the ones that I felt they were ranked best. And let's just kick this off with number 5. Alright, for number 5 is Quinn. Quinn is one of the least played AD carries in the game, and I find it very surprising. She's really strong in my opinion, and I think a lot of people don't pick her due to her low auto attack range and the fact that she has to go into a melee form, which does put you at risk because you can easily be killed by anyone at that point, and since you're very squishy, it is a troublesome situation to be in. However, she does have some solid mobility and harass, and her blind is really devastating in any 1v1 scenario, so she's really good for pushing lanes, and not much of a team fighter, but still, you can still support your team and do what a carry does best, and I think she is a solid champion and should be played a little bit more often. For number 4, I went with Karma. Karma is one of my favorite supports, and I think the reason that she fits so well into this game is due to her utility she can bring to a team comp. Now, she has great poke potential and great sustainability, which is really nice in the bot lane and into the middle game, where you're going into team fights, because that shield that you can put on everyone and give them movement speed is just great. I think a lot of people should pick up Karma if they're looking for a more aggressive support pick. She's really solid, and unlike Thresh and Leona, she can't provide a hard CC immediately, but that chain snare is still really strong if you can get it off in the bot lane. Not really that strong in team fights, but still pretty solid. I think another reason people don't pick her is she has a relatively weak kit on paper, and she doesn't have a passive, so it makes her feel underdeveloped, but in actuality, she's really strong. She can go in, ward, do that movement speed into the enemy jungler, and get out safely because she has her chain snare, and it's just a lot of things like that. If you know how to play her, you know, there's a learning curve, but you can make a great addition to your team if you practice. And I think Karma is a highly overlooked support. For number 3, I went with York. York has one of the lowest play rates of any top laner currently, and I think it's kind of absurd. Now, he can currently counter some of the best and most played top laners, and he has a pretty high level of doing so. He's got great sustain. It's nearly unmatched by anyone else in the game. And as a bonus, his ultimate can change a team fight completely by granting your ADC a little bit more uptime even after death. So that's something that's really nice, and that utility is amazing in team fights. Now, Yorick does need some love because he does fall off hard in the late game, and I understand why people don't necessarily want to play him there. But, you know, with a little bit of aggressive comp, amazing things can be pulled off. I've seen people carry themselves dramatically from season to season using Yorick. So he is someone who's been overlooked, and hopefully Riot can share the love back by giving him a few tweaks and, you know, maybe giving him a little bit of a quick rework, so he's played a little bit more often, because I think he is definitely a solid champion and one of the most underrated in my opinion. For number 2, I picked Poppy. I never really understood why she wasn't a mainstream character, because she can offer so much burst damage, great utility and mobility, and she has a fun little used ult, and she can be played in almost every lane, so she is kind of a blast. And you know, if you want to have a champion that you can just kick back with your friends and have some fun, have some laughs, I think Poppy is a champion for you. She's a great pick, and for 450, you can't go wrong. She's definitely someone you should definitely try at least. She might not carry you as much as anyone else on this list, but, you know, she's just fun to play around with, and overall, I think she is an underrated champion. For number 1, the big bad himself, Swain. Swain is the most underplayed, overlooked champion it is. It is absurd. He might not do well in the early game, but he is an absolute terror, a monster, a beast of the late game. Swain has one of the highest levels of sustainability of any mid laner. You just pop Sonya's, go on your ult form, and you can just really absorb everything around you if you're in an AoE situation where you can just get yourself back to full health. His overall tankiness from his build is just absurd. One of the greatest champions out there, so definitely pick him up if you're in a bit of a pickle. And his disruptive kit is just amazing. You know, I really can't say much about Swain. He's just a god-tier champion in my opinion, and has never really been seen the play rates to make up for that, and I think it's just absurd. So if there's anyone I can suggest on this list for you guys to play, it would be Karma and Swain. And if you want Quinn, Quinn's a solid pickup as well. Thank you guys for watching, thank you for liking up this video, and thank you for subscribing. And be sure to drop a comment if you think I missed one, or you have a suggestion for a future video. I'd love to hear those, and hope to see you guys on the Rift.